Can you confirm, was there ever any sexual tension between you and Ace?
Yeah, at one point I liked him. I definitely did. Like, there was a point where I definitely found him attractive. I thought he was really cute. I did not kiss him for nothing. Like,
yeah. Have you seen now the screenshots that people have posted confirming that Ace used to like a lot of your Instagram photos?
So I've seen.
Before you guys even got to the villa.
So I've seen. I've heard excuses. That is something where I can't say it's beyond me. That is his own words to be telling. It is beyond me, whether it's AI, whether he blames it on someone else, whether it's whatever, like, it's beyond me. I've heard that he's unliked all of them.
There's a clip of your gorgeous, bodacious ass turning from you forward facing to him to you doing a little spin around, ass near face, and then it cuts. And then we see you guys like getting up. And the theory online is that you put your ass in his face. Is that true? Why are you looking at me like that?
Because it's so funny. I'm just like, that is not what happened.
Like, did you ride his face a little bit with that ass? Were those ass cheeks a little around his?
No, I think that's too far. Like, that's a no-go. My butt, I think, was like on his stomach area, like this area right here.
Okay.
And I was twerking. And it was like 2 seconds too. I went da-da-da, and I got up. I'm so dead ass.
So there were no cheeks suffocating?
No.
Facial?
The only thing that ever happened was when I accidentally fell on Taylor in that fucking woodchuck wood challenge shit. Like, that is the only time.
Taylor's like, I fucking love my life right now.
I flew back. I was like, fuck. I literally said, I'm so sorry. I get up. I'm looking at Jeremiah. I'm like, fuck. Like, I fucked up. I did not mean to do that. No, I did not put my ass on whatever the fuck Ace's face.
What you guys didn't get to see is the whole argument and why we were arguing. We weren't arguing because I didn't cuddle her. We were arguing because we were told like we were only going to get 2 hours of sleep. And instead of prioritizing sleep, she wanted to get, active in the bedroom. And I wasn't about that. And I had made that clear to her. I'm like, look, like, if we're not going to be doing PDA on the outside, you can't even give me a kiss. Like, we're not doing shit in the bedroom. Like,
especially if I only get 2 hours of sleep.
Exactly.
It was like this. Like, it wasn't even the full shebang. Like, I'm just like, you're over here like, yeah, we had sex and we did this and I fucked this girl. She's so fine. Blah, blah, blah. Shut up. Like, you barely put that shit in. Don't even. And it's not because I couldn't take it. That's for fucking sure. Like, bitch, shut up. I was in a green bikini and like some white shorts and I felt so cute that day. And I walked down the stairs. He is not looking at me even. But he's having a full conversation with Shelley. Like, doesn't even, just his full.
What is up, guys, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you guys are new. Hi, it's Keisha. Nice to meet you all. Get in here because we've got quite a bit to get on into. So before we go ahead and get started, there's a lot of dark things happening right now. The amount of hate Shelley's receiving, the scrutiny Shelley and Alandria are facing, big companies like BuzzFeed. Honestly, take this and shove it up your ass. F you, because who checks for BuzzFeed in 2025? That's crazy. The amount of hate they're getting till this day is alarming. It is alarming. The amount of edits people have made, like, there's this picture of a police officer, and they've put Alandria's, I don't even want to, I'm not going to put the picture up or anything, but a lot of it is just really disgusting and disturbing. And it's crazy because we all watch this show. And when I watch a reality show, it shouldn't be something that turns nasty. And it's done exactly that. Shelley's offline. Shelley isn't posting. Alandria, she hasn't really officially posted. I guess Nick is posting the content. I want to start off by saying I would love to interview Alandria. I would love to interview Nick. I'm going to post something on my Instagram. No, I'm going to post something on my TikTok. And I'd just really appreciate if you guys could go ahead and tag Alandria and Nick. It would really, really, really mean the world to me. I just want to create a safe space specifically for Alandria, but I do have questions for Nick Alandria because hello, look, Nick Alandria Hive, Nick Alandria stands, we are so up. We are the up. Like, does it get any more better than this? You know what I mean? This is what we wanted, right? So I feel like I have such great questions to ask them about like their personal lives, just like who they are before coming onto the villa. I feel like a lot of the journalists, reporters interviewing them, they're not really asking great questions. And I think a lot of them are very much bitter that Nick, a white man, is interested in Alandria, and it's been very telling. I don't want any weirdness. I just want to create a vibe and an energy where everyone can giggle, cackle, kiki, all of that fun stuff, and then just go about our days. But I really want you guys as viewers to also gain a lot of insight about them. I would really love the opportunity to chat with them. Obviously, it's going to be via virtual, like a call, a Zoom call. But I would love to do that because I have a bunch of questions ready. Like sometimes I just think like, if I could talk to them, here's what I would ask. A lot of people are asking boring questions. Stop talking about Sierra. Stop talking about Taylor. We are so done with it. Please rest. There is so much, when I look at Nick and Alandria, there's so much more questions I want to ask about them. I kind of want to like pick their heads when it comes to certain things as well. So please guys, I'd really appreciate it. I mean, if nothing comes from it, like if it doesn't work, then sure, but at least I want to say that I tried and I got you guys involved too. So head over to my TikTok. I'll put it on the screen for you guys right now. By the time this video goes out, I would have made a video on my TikTok. I would just appreciate you guys to, I don't know, like spam. We know Nick is literally very much chronically online, so maybe the video will come up on his For You page. Honestly, I don't know, but closed mouths don't get fed, so there you go. I just feel like I have such great questions to ask them, and I just want to, again, most importantly, create a safe space for Alandria at a time where I know that she's seeing a lot of things that's going on. And yeah, so glad we got that out of the way. I want to start off by talking about Huda going on Call Her Daddy. Daddy Gang. Huda went on Call Her Daddy, which is a podcast. The podcast is hosted by Alex Cooper, and every time there is an interview with Alex Cooper, I really have to brace myself because I'm like, what is she going to give today? I feel like she doesn't do much. I don't think I would classify her, no shade or anything, but as a journalist, if you guys have watched other interviews she's done with other celebrities, I just feel like she doesn't offer much at all. I feel like she's had the great chance to interview these people, which again, big her up for that, and there's a reason why she's doing them numbers, like big up her, yeah? But I feel as though when you know you're gonna have someone in front of you, I will just prepare certain questions and not make them boring or feel like questions anyone could have asked. Like, you are one of the best producing podcasts, so I would have thought that you would come offering something, but it just feels very mundane or very underwhelming a lot of the times. But hey, when it came to this episode with Huda, I do want to say big up Huda for touching on some things in which I can only imagine she feels difficult speaking on, and that she spoke about, you know, her relationship with her father, and that to me, my heart goes out to her. I really do wish, I truthfully do wish Huda the best, even with me making this video, by the way. I'm not bitter about anything. I think that she's got a lot of growing up and learning to do. It's actually shocked me that she says that she's in therapy. You might want to fire that therapist because they're doing nothing for you. Or maybe, just maybe, Huda's the type of person to lie in therapy and pretend everything's cool and pretend that she's actually doing all these exercises and doing all this homework when in reality she's done nothing. So either way, I'm shickety shook that Huda's in therapy, but every day we're learning something new. What do we learn from this podcast, ladies and gentlemen? Now, maybe you didn't watch it. I'm going to go ahead and touch on some things, the things that I really care to talk about, yeah? Why do you still have Ace and Shelley in your mouth? To me, if someone's asking me these questions, out of respect, I would shut certain things down. Out of respect for someone I claim to be a friend of mine, I will shut certain things down. I'm not going to then go ahead and speak on the fact that, oh my God, Ace liked a post of mine, you know, before the villa, Ace liked, I just find that very weird. The same person literally smiling. We can see her pearly white. She's smiling as she's answering the question. Like, she loves this ish. And it takes me back to the episode where she was gassed that she got Ace's heart rate up the most. Like, it was a flex for her. And now her confirming that she did like Ace and that she showed some sort of interest in him is very telling. And Shelley was never wrong to feel the way that she felt. Simple as. Especially when you know the narrative has been made about how, you know, Ace is a game player. Ace and Shelley knew each other, and it's like, yeah, they knew each other, but are we not watching the same show? They've explained, okay, you got. There's a lot of slow people this season. There's a lot of newer Love Island fans, and a lot of you guys are so dense. You're so dense. A lot of you guys are just like, you have this sheep mentality, and it really is scary. But hey, we'll talk about that a little bit later on. To me, there's so many things Huda should have shut down. Huda, it's not even to me. Huda is still playing victim.
I feel like I was bullied a lot in the villa. Like, I really do. And I'm glad that other people saw it too, because it's like I really 100% thought that I was being bullied in the villa, and everyone's just like, we would never intentionally do things to hurt you, like blah blah blah. And like, people are saying all these things to me, and I'm just like, am I being crazy? Like, am I losing my mind here? And then, coming out of the villa and like seeing that I wasn't crazy. Like when I felt like someone was looking at me and making fun of me, I was right. When I felt like someone was talking about me, I was right. When I felt things shifting in a certain person, I was right. Like I realized I should have just trusted my intuition because I was right in a lot of case scenarios.
She is the final girl boss when it comes to playing victim, and that is scary. She did it the entire season and she's still doing it outside the show. Why has Huda not made a post addressing her fans, the chaotic ones? Not all, but if the shoe fits, bitch, then let me know what size you wear, tie it up. Is it like a flipping heel? Is it a platform? Or is it some ballet flats? Girl, let me know. Let me know. No, but seriously though, all jokes aside, why hasn't Huda made a post? I do not stand with bullying. I do not condone this. I do not condone racism. Why are you not speaking up? You see it. The ladies see it. I see it. And I'm across the pond. So what are we talking about? You have access. They all have access to the phone. Shelley said that she's going to take a break from social media. And that to me, it's like, I get it. The break could be coming from the fact that, she's just tired. 2 months, hardly getting sleep in the villa, apparently. Apparently, they only get a couple hours of sleep, which is very concerning to me. Because what do you mean? And it's even more concerning knowing that they get only a few hours of sleep and Huda always wants to do the hunching and tapping people. If you don't wake up in 3 seconds, who the flip are you? And why do you treat these men like they're children? I don't like her talking about Ace and Shelley. I feel like out of respect for your so-called friend, and this is what I'm saying, like, just because you guys are all women doesn't mean you have to get along. You guys share the same dressing room. The whole sisterhood, it was forced for me. Don't go into Love Island doing the whole sisterhood thing. The reason why PPG worked is because they know they're all women and they just felt this chemistry with Leah, felt this chemistry with Serena, Janae. That, like, the same thing applies for the other women. There was this chemistry that you just couldn't deny. I do feel like with this season there was a lot of forced things. I feel like the only real friendship to come, the proper friendship to come out that really gives sisterhood is Olandria and Shelley, and I really do hope that they have each other in this time of darkness, because a lot of the comments I've seen, the usage of the N-word, the slurs, I mean, people putting Shelley's face on it's disgusting, but it's nothing new, unfortunately, and that is what Black people have to deal with. I want to, anything I can do on my end to create a safe space for them, because I do think they want to talk and share, but I don't think they're just, I don't think they're ready to, A, but B, I think that they probably can't do it the way they want to just yet. I think give it a couple weeks, months, that's when they probably will address things. I see a lot of Huda fans saying stuff like, everyone's left the villa, everyone's outside the show doing podcast interviews, and they all have Huda's name in their mouth, because Huda made it. Huda Island for 2 weeks straight. Her Jeremiah, calling him the B word, Pussy, shouting. She made it about her. People have come out of the show to say, yeah, Huda literally makes everything about her. Slamming the drawers how many times? So what, we don't know how to behave? Now, look, one thing I'm not going to do this video, I'm not going to mum shame. I know there's a lot of people who are probably waiting for it, because I know a lot of people do it themselves to Huda. The only thing I will say about her being a mother is I don't really appreciate the fact that she waited, I think it was day 2 or day 3, to tell Jeremiah that she is a mother. Mommy? Mamacita? No, she waited 3 days, and I just feel like that to me was very strategic, especially when we really look at Huda's character later on in that season. To me, she's someone who is very strategic. Very, very, very strategic, because I'm not saying that you should have told him from the first conversation. Like, the first sentence shouldn't have been, hey, by the way, I'm a mum. I don't think you need to lead with that per se, but when you guys are doing the hunching, crunching, moaning, making noise in the bedrooms and stuff, I really feel like you should have told him that, because I think that Jeremiah caught some feelings for you, and that was very much evident in the show, and I think I genuinely think that was strategic. She said in the first episode that she's not trying to hide anything, but it kind of feels like you are trying to hide the fact that you are a mother, okay? I see people say stuff like, why did she go on Love Island? She's a mum. I don't agree with that whatsoever. I do think your life doesn't end. It doesn't mean you should stop finding love, or you shouldn't live your life because you have a child. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as there's people back home that could take care of the child, which it seems like, then that to me isn't an issue. Like, I'm not going to play it unfair here because I don't like the way Huda behaves. No. Do you guys remember? Let's just wheel it. Weeks and weeks and weeks ago when Jalen was there, Jalen went on a date, and remember, producers chose this. Jalen, like, Jeremiah didn't wake up, Iris like, let's go on a date. Week. Producers did that. And also what really got me was Huda thinking America is trying to save her from Jeremiah. Now, Jeremiah has his flaws. There's a lot of things that he did that I feel like was toxic. He should have shut certain things down, and he should have had better discernment. And the same thing for Chris. I think Chris was more letting Huda know, I don't like this, I don't like that. Jeremiah was more so just wanting the back and forth. So Jeremiah, you've got a little role to play, but not the biggest role. Not the biggest role whatsoever. How are you going to wake up Taylor from his sleep when they only get a couple hours of sleep? And even if we got 9 hours of sleep, yeah, as you should, don't wake me up. People don't play when it comes to their sleep. Even Chris had to tell you that. He shouldn't have to tell you that, is my point. Waking someone up for selfish reasons is crazy. Now, could you wake someone up because something bad happened or there's been an accident? Sure. But even like that, why are you waking up Taylor? I mean, you don't really care for Landry like that, but why are you waking up Taylor? You did it for selfish reasons. Are we listening, guys? Do you guys hear what I'm trying to say? When Iris, Pepe, and Jalen first came to the villa, they were very much scared of you. Very much scared of you. Pepe and Jalen wanted to make sure that you and Iris being left alone was okay and safe. That is very telling. I see a lot of people saying stuff like, you know what, I see myself in Huda, I'm scared of you. People thinking this behavior is okay. When is it ever okay to be abusive to anyone? When is it okay to just throw verbals like that? Imagine a man had done that to her, calling her a bitch, saying that she's a PUSSY, tapping her, wake up, let's do this, let's hunch, let's go at it. When has that ever been acceptable? And if it was a man, my goodness, the headlines that would have been made. It doesn't make it okay if a man or woman does it. But the reason why she just, like, the producers really, really forced this redemption arc, but luckily I have a lot more discernment and sense to know I'm just not falling for it. Now, if she did the work after the show and she's actively trying to do better, then I think that should be rewarded to a certain degree. And I think that at the end of the day, if someone is actively trying to make change and are able to see where they effed up, I'm not mad at it. Like, I think I wouldn't be mad at it whatsoever, but I do feel like this redemption arc was forced by producers and they tried to make it seem like Huda was just this sweet soul who just made a couple mistakes. Nobody's perfect. In the words of Hannah Montana, leave off. She still did it. I would never get over her comment. I would never get over her comment when she was like, if I was ugly, would it, like, I can't remember what she said. If I was ugly, would it be a problem? You are such a pick-me. I've never heard someone say something like that before. That is literally the epitome of pick-me right there. You only brought Chris back for yourself. It wasn't for Shelley. It was for you. If Shelley wanted to bring him back, she would have brought him back. She decided to choose Ace. You wanted, and I get it, you didn't want to go with JD. I just feel like you're dominant. Like, I wouldn't want him to. I wouldn't want mouth can't close man to. But don't say, and this is what Shelley's point was, and you guys labeled her as a mean girl. I will never forget the scrutiny, the brands getting involved, the people them switching on Shelley. No, it's not even about switching. It's like people were waiting for a moment to go at it with Shelley because there was nothing there. There was nothing that you could literally be mad at her for. But the racists, they were ready to jump out, and they did. And Huda, you are now seeing that. You see the discourse and conversation being had. You see Shelley is inactive on social media completely. She's done a couple interviews here, there, and other, but she's also in the interview said, you know, I'm just going to lay low. And that to me is because a lot of the hate that she's getting. And it most definitely stemmed from you. It was your doings. Now, can you control what user 973 is doing or what this person in Michigan is commenting about Shelley? No, you can't. But having a big platform, the way that you do have it, I would have addressed or issued a statement by now. By now, a statement would have been issued. It would have been issued. And the gag is, even if you wanted to, like, save face or even pretend that you care, you still didn't do that. That's mad. Now, you should not be pretending. You should actually genuinely care. But, like, you know, I'm surprised there's just been nothing. It's been nothing but silence and crickets and you attaching yourself to Nicolandra. Leave them alone. Listen, when I think of Nicolandra, I don't think of an additional person. And I'm not into the whole, you know, Huda is just Hilton. Shut up. Shut up. What do you mean by if I was ugly? Like, you are such a pick-me. You know, before going onto the villa, a lot of her content, well, when she was on the villa, a lot of her content had resurfaced. And a lot of it was very much pick-me content, very much male-centered content. There you go. There you go. I don't like her calling black men brother. Okay, brother. Something about that just leaves a nasty taste in my mouth. My senses are just, I don't know, it's just, yeah. I'm not feeling that one. She's done it time and time again, and they were all black men. Okay, brother. Never to TJ. Never Nicolas. And never gave that. But for Chris, okay, brother. Jeremiah, okay, brother. Ace, who else was it? Mr. Seven Locks. Why are you going onto a podcast and still talking about Ace and Shelley? Shut that ish down. If that was someone asking me, do you feel like Ace liked you, or did you like, she had interest in Ace. She has literally admitted that on the Call Her Daddy podcast, knowing that there's going to be millions and millions of viewers. You knew what you signed up for, and you didn't shut that ish down, and that's a scary person. And that's why I'm so happy Shelley unfollowed Huda. As soon as this interview came out, Shelley unfollowed Huda. She was waiting, and that's the thing about Shelley, she's got to work on though, bitch. Stand on it. Even being in the villa, I really do feel like these ladies should have told Huda time and time ago. Now, maybe they did, and that wasn't televised. I can only imagine there's a lot of footage cut out. At the end of the day, we only see an hour and a half of footage, right? So there's that. You liked Ace. You wouldn't mind pursuing Ace. The heart rate challenge, when people was, even Pepe said, doing too much. Are you sure there's nothing going on there? Now, Pepe and Iris, I don't fully believe in that, but Pepe, he sees things. Even Taylor and Clark leaving the villa did an interview, right? And I guess the interviewer was asking them, like, can you tell us a bit more about the heart rate challenge? Is it true that Huda did too much? Like, what did you guys think of it? They said Huda did too much. Now, too much for us, leave it to your own imagination, but I have some ideas of what it was that she was doing. They were still on the ground, so I have some ideas of what it is that she was doing that involves this, yeah? It wasn't televised. It was that bad, it wasn't televised. And we saw some sensual things happening in that episode, yeah? Ace could have done better, said, hey, I'm getting up. You should have seen Shelley and Chris walking back to sit down. You went and kept going. And that's why I would never, like, if Huda was my friend, in fact, she wouldn't be my friend. Because if by now, me G-checking you and calling you out on X, Y, and Z and you still not changing, I can't put up with that. She's got too much enablers and yes men around her. Or maybe people are just tired. Maybe people are just tired of calling her out. Even her own sister came onto the show and said, I'm just happy you know when to shut up. Well, that's even not factual because she doesn't know when to shut up. She still speaks over other people. She still believes that she should have the final say. She believes that every man should kneel for her. She believes that even when treating men like crap, she should still have the princess treatment. She's been failed. She has been failed. And it's, again, shickety-shockety shocking for me, knowing that she's in therapy, because it's like, who, what, where, when, how. I wouldn't have admitted that, because it's like, okay, do we blame the therapist or do we blame you? And it's like, no. I am waiting for that episode, but with that being said though, Shelley's still going to endure a lot of hate and a lot of criticism and a lot of backlash and people just being racist pricks. People are ready, they are waiting. A lot of the black women this season have done a lot in a grace manner. Like, I'm gonna die on the hill that I genuinely don't think Shelley and Alandria are mean girls. I went to an all-girls secondary school. I know what mean girls looks like. I think a lot of you guys were just waiting to label them as something that wasn't positive because they were getting a lot of love and appreciation for being beautiful women who held their own during the whole show, and who kept their coochie in check and wasn't just throwing it at the next man. I clocked that though. Or should I say I clocked it? I think Huda's problem is seeking male validation. Huda's problem is thinking that every guy has to like worship her and like do this and do that. Huda doesn't want to meet people in the middle. It's just, I want you to do this. No protein? That's crazy. To this day, that is crazy. She has this ideal image of a guy. She shouldn't have gone on Love Island. I think a lot of people in this season are too focused on the outside of focus. What does America think about me? What does America think about me? And I feel like that's something I don't want to see next season. I don't want to see that. I want you to just come into the villa as a breath of fresh air, knowing that obviously America's watching you. Well, not just America, because I'm watching from the UK. Okay, where's the international babes at? Because like, it's not just US that are watching this season. This season did very well, and I'm not going to sit on here and pretend it wasn't down to partly Huda. I think Huda had a part to play in it, but it was still toxic. I think those articles that were released around the time of her calling Jeremiah a bitch several times, you're a PUSSY, like her really just moving mad, and people don't want to use the word aggressive for her because she's not black. If this was Shelley or Alandria, you guys literally would have called them aggressors. You guys are aggressors, and people would have been so quick with their slurs. They would have been so quick to compare them to animals. I mean, the things that I've been seeing breaks my heart, but it's like, for this show to feel that, it's mind-boggling to me. It really is, because for me, it should just be a show. It should be something that's lighthearted, not taken too seriously. Now, Huda needs help. It really is just that simple. Lots and lots of help, and a new therapist. Just like the redemption arc they tried to push on us, I'm just not buying it. I'm not buying it. For you to still come out the villa, knowing that Shelley is receiving so much hate, knowing that the reason why Shelley is not posting right now is because of the hate. If we're being real, like, I get it, they've been in the villa for 2 months and they're probably tired, but no, if that's me, I'm excited to get my phone back and post 24/7. Not that they're going to be irrelevant without posting, because they're going to be just fine, and I respect them taking the whole mental health break. I respect Ace and Shelley doing that. Who knows, maybe it's a thing where Shelley is the one who's dealing with a lot more than I think she is. I mean, her being a dark-skinned black woman, Ace is probably getting the hate too, but I'm sure Ace wants to post and do this and be active, but out of respect for Shelley, hey, let's just navigate this together. And that's what I really appreciate about them. People have had a lot to say about Ace, him being a game player. We can say all of these things, but I do think he generally does like Shelley, and I do see it lasting. Now, Huda is doing sneaky things that a lot of you guys are not clocking. Now, maybe you guys didn't have the chance to watch the full interview. I didn't make it through the whole interview, but I did see like long clips being posted on Twitter. I saw things on TikTok, and I just feel like Huda is such an attention seeker. She's a pretty one. And that's where people are like, you know what? That's good enough for me. Oh, it's not so bad. Huda does things for her best interest. And I hate also how people are comparing Huda to Leah from last year. Please don't do that. But a lot of the people came out from the show saying Huda made it about her for 2 weeks. It became boring. Everyone was tired. It became Huda, Jeremiah. As viewers, we were drained. But not for you, Huda. You could keep going. If Jeremiah was still there, you guys would be still doing the back and forth. And when we're talking about Shelley treating you that way, it's maybe giving you the silent treatment and ghosting you. That's it. It was her saying... Or was Huda saying, hey, can we talk? And Shelley said, you know what? Actually, not tonight. And then ignoring you the next day. You deserve that. You saw Shelley and Ace getting close. You saw what they had and what could be. And you still decided to crush that. That to me is crazy, because it's like Shelley said, if that was Jeremiah, you probably would have literally fought for a man. That's nasty. It just is. And then the whole world turning against Shelley. The whole world seeing Shelley and Alondra as the mean girls of this season when it's right in front of you. Doing this to people, waking people up, waking up Taylor, waking up Chris, all for your own benefit. With the final date, her and Chris, the finale, them being at the beach. Well, they weren't at the beach. They were at somewhere where there was water. And Chris didn't help carry her. And if I'm being real, I wouldn't too. I think that's an unpopular opinion, because I saw a lot of backlash of people saying, Chris, why didn't you just carry her, like, be a gentleman? If I'm being honest with you, I just feel as though doing this, waking me up from my sleep when we don't get a lot of hours here, is madness. Is actual madness. So no, I would not be carrying you either. I wouldn't. You take them shoes off like you did. You grabbed your bottle. I love the fact that you grabbed the bottle though, because that would be me. But I'm not going to then say, carry me. That's like, you don't get to have the princess treatment. You don't. That doesn't make Chris any better though. Chris to me is still an attention seeker and someone who should not have gone the show, and someone who I probably wouldn't date either, just in terms of his tendencies. I think he is quite calculated, and I do think, you know how people call Ace the game player? I think Chris kind of is too. Chris doesn't want to chase. Chris wanted Shelley until he realized that, you know what, it probably is a lot more easier with Huda. Okay, I think there's a lot of actors and actresses in this season, for that matter, but I don't think Alondra and Shelley are the mean girls that the internet is trying to make them out to be. And to just see Alondra know the comments that's been had and the discourse being had about her character. Most people in that villa have said that Alondra is the sweetest soul, and that people come to her because she has this like motherly advice. She has this aura about her where she just has words of wisdom. Love Island should have done more. They should have issued statements the same way they did to protect Huda. You calling women bitches because they came in as bombshells wanting to get to know Jeremiah, who is very good looking, by the way. Do we not understand the point of Love Island? If I was in there as a bombshell, I would want to get to know all the guys and I would talk to Jeremiah. I don't think he should be off limits. Now, however, the whole love bite thing, that to me is scary. It's childish, yes, but it's scary. I do feel like you did that to kind of mark him as your territory. But I really do think Huda should have left the island a long time ago. And every single person who decided to save her, apart from Nick, you had to live with that. The fact that Huda made it to the finale and not Shelley and Ace, do you know what she wanted? She wanted the same treatment Shelley was getting. And let's talk about it, because Shelley is that girl, point blank period. She's that girl. Even before going onto Love Island, just seeing her page, you can tell she has a roster. You can tell the girlies love her, the guys love her. You can tell that she's quite popular. You can see how she's a model. You can see that she just has this aura, even from watching like scrolling past her page. She's just that girl, period, right? So now coming onto a show where we know the treatment black women, specifically dark-skinned black women, typically get, I genuinely think Huda is shocked that Shelley is constantly being the chosen one, is constantly being catered to. Let me cater to you, cause baby, this is your day. What was it Huda was saying? Well, how come Shelley gets this? I got nothing. Shelley got this. No. Shelley got this. Does that not sound like a child? Shelley is getting princess treatment. People are breaking their backs, making her food, doing this, grabbing flowers, snipping plants and put it on her plate. Huda cannot fathom it. Pretty much it for my thoughts and opinions. Let me know down below your thoughts and opinions. And yes, I'll catch you guys real soon for a brand new video. Bye.